Hi family, happy Saturday. So welcome to Basic Skills Part 2. So we have to basic skills number 4 where you need to learn how to cook, you need to learn how to sew, and you need to learn how to wash clothes. And we talking about wash clothes by hand. We ain't gonna talk about the machine. Wash clothes by hand. Are you saying, Viola, really? Yes. You need to learn how to do that. And even a machine, because there's some people that don't know how to wash clothes. They really do not know how to wash clothes. So basic skills, you need to know how to wash, and I'm talking about get in there and wash your clothes by hand. You need to know how to do that. We need to teach everybody in the family. And I'm talking about as simple as down to age 5. There's nothing wrong with that. Teach everybody. We already know how the elderly know how to do it, but everybody in the family need to know how to wash clothes. Wash everything. Wash what you're going to eat. Know how to clean it. Yes, you need to know how to do that. That's critical. Next thing that to do is sew. And that is far too critical in itself. And I'm serious. Need to know how to sew. You need to know how to sew, stitch things together. If you sit there and just teach your family how to sew their sock, don't always wait for the women, man. And I know, look, I ain't bashing. Power to the people who actually already did it. Basic skills. Sewing. A lot of people do not know how to sew. I bet some people don't even have a sewing kit in their house. Uh, don't even have a sewing kit in the house. It's critical. There's nothing wrong with having some fabric in the house. There's nothing wrong with that. I got me some fabric. I know, like Viola, you got fabric. In case I need to make me some clothes. I never know what has happened with this Rona. We'll be shut in. Because I don't know if I'm going to take the shot. Because right now I'm not going to take the shot. So if I'm banned from things, but that's a whole other subject. We'll discuss that later. But you need to know how to sew. You need to put things together. You need how to sew a coat, sew a hat, sew whatever, sew a tent, sew shelter. You need to know how to sew. Just basic rules of sewing, and sewing is so critical. I'll put some clips, but you need to teach your family. This is why you get the village together. This is why you somebody in there has a basic skill of sewing knots, just sewing different things. And knots is critical too for your sailors out there. Teach your family about different knots. So the ropes, I'm going to show you different little clips, but sewing and putting a knot, so critical, so critical. Give you that strength, how to put things together. So basic things in there is sewing and and tying a knot. Sewing, because you want to make sure you know how to sew, put things together is very critical. You never know where you at. You might need to sew a stitch, sew a wound. I know you like, Viola, I am not sewing no one's skin together. Why not? We're talking about basic skills. We're talking about do or die, because when you in a when you in a certain situation, let's say if you did have to tell your go back, because this is what we're talking about, this is where we at, and this is why you need to learn this, and you need to know how to do this. You never know where you at, where you may have to sew, or sew yourself, sew a family member, perform a minor surgery to where you took something out, a piece of glass or whatever, and the wound is so deep and it needs to be stitched. This is why you need to do that, because you need to, you need to stitch that skin together. There's nothing wrong with that, because right now there's no doctors around. There's no nothing. You knew the basics, because we're talking about basic skills. There's no surgery. There's no nothing. There's no anything. So you need to know how to prep that and take care of that. And this is why I'm telling you, get the family together. Learn these basic skills, because you never know what situation you may be in where there's no doctors, no any place, and you have to perform that. So basic skills. And no, I'm not telling I can hear y'all saying, you teaching me how to tell my surgery. No, I'm talking about, and Case of emergency, when there's no one around and it's you, what are you going to do? Let them bleed to death? No. You're going to get yourself up, be strong, and learn how to stitch. If how you have a gash, stitch it. Take your time, take the needle and stitch it, and keep it moving. Clean the wound, and you make sure you take care of yourself. And basic and the part number 3 is learn how to cook. We know some people can't even boil water, but seriously, you out there, basic skills. Learn to know how to cook a meal. The best thing is learn rice, learn vegetables, know how to go out in the woods, put some wood together, make a little campfire, and cook. These are basic skills you need to learn. Just the main reason why I need you guys to know how to cook. Look, if you can't cook, what you gonna do? Seriously, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you by yourself, you're out there in the woods and you don't know what to do? You ain't gonna eat that fish raw. Even though I know we got people that can do that, I'm not eating anything raw. I'm gonna try my best to cook it. That's why I know how to cook. But seriously, family, I need you to make sure you teach your family how to cook. Everybody needs to know how to cook. In other areas of the world, yes, 5-year-olds and 3-year-olds basic know how to cook. And we just bougie. we we colonize. So uncolonize, unlearn, and get the basic skills and teach them how to cook. Stop having them be scared thinking it's a certain time. There's really no certain time. Unlearn some things. This is so critical what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of stuff you need to unlearn and relearn and stop and just throw it out the door. Just throw it out the door. Learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. Seriously, learn how to cook. And okay, I'm not even go there, but seriously, learn how to cook is very important. Basic needs in there. Wash, cook, sew, and knots. Those are very important. So please don't slip on these. Do not slip on anything that I'm sitting here and basically can tell you. I need you guys to know those things. Just I know you're like, how long are you going to take? How long ever it's going to take. But I need you to learn how to do these things. Just put it out there. We should already be doing this. You should already have all these things done. But these are the things that we need to teach our kids. So for the ones that's homeschooling, so just learn how to cook, learn how to sew, learn how to tie knots, learn how to um, wash. All those are very critical. And they like, Viola, you going crazy. No, seriously. Know how to do it. Learn how to do it. All right. Basic skills that we need to know. We need to know what the Constitution says. I know you're like, Viola, what are you talking about? Yes, just know it. Just know your basic rules, basic laws, basic laws of the overall government. Know the basic laws of your state, of your city. Just know those basic laws. I just want you, you're like, where you going with this? Just know. Just teach it. Teach those. Don't slip on those. Those are key. And I'm going to leave it right there. Just know your basic laws. Know what the Constitution says. I know you said, Viola, I learned this in school. I just want to leave it there. So know your laws. Know your rules and regulations as far as by carrying a weapon, going out, what you can shoot, what you can do in your environment, far as where to get your license, little things a lot of people just don't know. So you want to pass that down to your village so they know where they need to do, how they need to do it. But know your basic laws. Know your Constitution. So I'm going to leave it right there. All right. I know I cut the laws short. It's just that I want you to make sure that laws are being changed and we don't even know they're being changed. So it's always good to know a little bit extra. You know how when people start talking politics, everybody shut their minds and don't want to hear it. It's always good to know. It's always good to know what the change is, what is happening, what's not being said, what's actually being recommended to us. And when we go to the polls to vote, to understand, to break down Don't get to the polls and be like, what is this question? And what are they trying to do? That's why it's always good to know what's coming up. It's always good to have the debate. Sometimes it's best not to send your kids in the other room. It's best sometimes to hear them have these conversations, especially your teens, especially 15, 16. Well, yeah, 15, 16 is a good age. It's a good age so they can be acclimated. So it's a good age for them to know this. That's why I want you to know, want them to know what the laws are, you know. Just like with some incidents with, I know this is silly, if somebody said that you were stealing. So it's always best to know, you know, the laws. It's best to always know situations because it's always best to wait till law enforcement. And I would rather them, I would rather them me prove that I didn't steal than versus having everything else changed. That's just me, my personally what I would do, just so they'll see that I am credible, that I did not lie. Because there's so many things turn, and that's just me. But I just want you to know your basic laws, basic rules. And I'm just going to leave it right there. So, because somebody always has something to say. So I just want to give you that fire and let you know. Learn your laws. When you know better, you do better. And we never know. We just don't want to be blindsided and be like, man, I didn't know. But you kind of did know, because I want you to make sure that you know your laws. Okay, so these next couple of tips are basic skills that we need to do, but these are just things that will help our community a little bit more, bringing us together. And I'm going to make sure you guys get everything that I need to just tell you. So you need to make sure that you continue, or if you're not doing it, have family meetings. You need to have family meetings, and it's critical. I know we with this Rona, they're talking about 10 people. So it's nothing wrong with having a Zoom call. There's nothing wrong with having a duo like we do. Have them. It's critical that you guys share this information. It's nothing wrong with that. It's good if you have a family text group, emails, whatever. Get the word out, get the information out. Family meetings are very important. Family meetings, I'm not going to say it again. That's why Big Mama always had Sunday dinner. Come on, Grandma and Grandpa house. That's why they had it. Why you think the main reason why we have family reunions? Family reunions are so critical. Family reunions are so critical. If we take those serious, we would have more. Family reunions are so critical. That's when we had the family meeting. That's when you knew who was in your family. Now everything is so split up, jacked up. But we need to have family meetings. And the reason why we have the family meetings, because we want to make sure that everybody has insurance policy, everybody has a will, you know. Same thing with, that's how you learn secret cookings, secret baking tips. You share family recipes. We knew who was skilled in the family. We knew all those things. And believe it or not, you actually was learning and you just didn't even realize it. You actually like, oh, I saw Unc did this, and I saw my brother do this, and I saw my cousin do this. This is the main reason why we have family meetings and family reunions, and we can throw little things in there instead of having fashion shows. We should learn how to teach everybody how to change the oil, change a tire. I know you like, Viola, you crazy. No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. If I can talk in code and get you to realize what I'm saying, I would talk in code. Learn those things. Learn how to change your oil, change, fix a lamp. Learn some electrical skills. Learn how to fix the circuit breaker. And I'm not talking about taking the thing off, flipping it and flipping it. No, go in there and learn how basic wiring skills. Learn it. Learn some skills. Get out there and learn these things in your house to fix your house. These are things that we can learn when we all get together, when we all talk. I need you guys to make sure that we get everyone to learn some basic skills. And that's going to go on to number 7 for as the basic skills. But this is the main reason why family meetings are important, so we can share ideas, share thoughts, share the important things, sharing who we can go to in the family. Because like I said, that village, I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to get you to get your village together. That's why it's always good to have a family. When you're raising your child, it takes a village. We need to get back to that village. And this is a tip to whoever needs this. It's so scary about what's going on with our family, with our generation right now. It's hasn't stopped, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but it seems like every family should have at least each individual, we're talking about down to your babies. And I know for my people who are struggling, um it should be a bail fund in the family, because it seems like, and not going to go into that, but you know what I'm getting at, should have a bail fund. It's going to leave it there, but have your bail fund. But going back, we should make sure that continue family meetings, continue family outings, continue family get-togethers, so we can make sure we get those basic skills. Now, that's just teaching what you have in you. You could teach them how to, you know, grow vegetables, grow fruits, grow basic things. And I'm saying this what should be coming out these meetings. That's why we should have meetings. And I know this section is going to be a little bit longer, but this is why I was saying that village, these meetings happens for a reason. This is when our men's get together. And care for one another, love on each other. This is when our women get together, baking and cooking and showing different things. Same thing, men get out there on the grill, men get in the kitchen and cook. Same thing, women get out on the grill. Same thing. You can shoot. That's when you can teach them how to clean a weapon, put a magazine in together. You can do like different speed. Who can who can clean a weapon fast? Who can you know throw an arrow, all these different things. And look, that's actually helping you be a stronger, check yourself, check your whole self, meaning if you can throw that weapon, throw a bat, anything. So this family meeting, these when back when grandma and grandpa did have Sunday dinners, you never know what was actually talked about at that table. You never know what people was learning at that table. We never know. So these family meetings are important. So seriously, whatever type of family you living in right now, have meetings. Have these meetings. These meetings are key. These meetings actually teaches us what we have around us, making a village stronger. So I know I said a lot of extra stuff, but those things was key. If you need to go back into the video and watch it, those things are okay. So just some little tips that I had for as the military. I know with the military, they taught us to make sure that we had a skill. Now, that's the main reason why I wanted you to watch this video. It's always good to have a skill. Yes, I know, like Viola, I have a career. Right, you have a career, but what's your skill? Good with kids. Can you stop a baby from crying? Can you know, teach a baby not to choke? We talking about like skills, that's in the child care. But what's your skill? Can you wire? You know, um, can you see what's wrong with a car? Now you already see all these cars now are electronical. I mean, all these cars are electric. So all these chips and modes and these computer things and all this technology with these cars. So when you have a basic skill, like if you know how to charge a battery, or know that the battery in a car, if it's corroded, you clean it with some Pepsi, or you just clean it and keep it clean. But the basic skills of a car, and you always learn a little bit better, so you can know what the latest technology is. But we're going to still go back. It's going to go back. I know these cars getting all fancier, fancier, and fancier, but if you're in a car and you know the basic skills and know the basics, then you can get your car moving. I know that was a wrong analogy, but just make sure you have a basic skill. What I'm noticing a trend is we want to be with other people. So just going to leave it to you there. We, like me, what I told my daughter is make sure you go to college, right? But what didn't I have in place? I didn't have a college fund. What I'm noticing is right now with going to college, you get out of college, you don't have a skill. You have a degree, but you don't have the skill because you don't have the this post that was just blew my mind, and I was like, wow. I'm noticing that we're telling our kids to go to college, but they don't have a skill. Because with that degree, they always say, what is your experience? But when you have a skill, when you have something like you know how to fix a car, you know how to sew and sew a dress, you know how to knit a whole outfit, knit blankets, you know how to knit a rug, you have carpenter skills, you know how to build a house, you know how to put the plumbing in and all this skill. These are skills. These are learn how to refrigerator, the air conditioning systems. Know these. Have a skill. There's so much free stuff on the internet. Have that skill. No one can take that skill away from you. They can take your career for which you have your degree, and they can take that away, but they can't take your skill. The skill will always be there, so make sure that you have a skill. Same thing with our village. Teach these skills, train, cross train each other, so we can always have and build our own, because we got to get back and get self-sufficient. We got to get self-sufficient. We do. It's the main reason why I'm doing these basic skills, because I want you to be self-sufficient. It's the whole reason why I'm doing this video. I want you to be self-sufficient. I want you to be self-sufficient because we need to grow our own. We need to grow our own. We need to build our own. We need to create our own, because right now we don't have, and we need to grow our own. We need to be self-sufficient. We need to just do what we got to do and be self-sufficient. And the most critical thing about the skill and being self-sufficient is I'm noticing that we have so much debt that we owe that we owe so much money, and it's hard to pay it back. So, and the worst thing is to have a student debt and be like, wow, this is crazy. I owe all this money and I haven't even started my life. So with that skill, that's why I keep telling you, with these intellectual properties, you can make some residual income and pay that school back, pay that school loan back, pay that money back like this. It may take a year, 2 years, but you don't want to die. You don't want to die at an old age, or you don't want to be in your 50s, 60s, 70s and just now paying your school debt. Okay, so we're getting to the end. Just want to wrap everything up. The only reason why I did this video and want to share this information with you, because I want you to be self-sufficient. I want you to know how to come upon a situation and know how to tackle it. These are a lot of the skills I learned in the military. I learned how to be self-sufficient. And in this part of the section, just a little bonus, I want to make sure that you learn basic first aid skills. CPR, basic first aid is very important. Definitely with the times we're in now, everybody needs to learn how to at least stop bleeding. Check your pulse, just to do basic skills. So it's key to everybody know just basic life-saving skills. Of course, to call 911, but what do you do? I know you're already prepping your kids, but I just want to make sure I put that out there. That's just a added bonus. And another added bonus to be self-sufficient, because the reason why I'm doing these life-saving skills is you need to know the perimeters of your house. Yes, it's very important to know the perimeters of your house. That's the main reason why I want everybody to be prepared in your house in case of an emergency, somebody try to break in. So you need to know the perimeters of your house, like where to put the bat, where to put certain things. That's why you need to have basic skills for self-defense. Like the first perimeter is somebody coming through the door, and the first perimeter of your house, you don't want them to get too far. Let's say if they pass a second threshold. So part of the family plan, you should add in those little preparations as far as different points of entry in your house, different points about the window. If you got 3 levels of come out through the basement, you want to have a way where you can kind of like lock a door, where you can lock them in the basement or lock them in in certain parts of the house, yes, you need to have that contingency plan. And I'm just putting it out to you. Those are basic skills that you need to have, like if you live in a townhouse or if you live in a single family home, there's different points of entry, especially the back door. The back door should have a lock on there, a safety lock, or a wood handle that comes down where someone can't get in, or um, a block on the bottom of the door. Let's say the door right at the bottom or at the top, so somebody can't get in. Because most times people lock their back door and don't realize, I mean, leave it unlocked and don't realize, hey, I forgot to lock the door. And especially if those who have screen doors where you have a patio door, those are vulnerable. So just make sure that you do safety precaution in your house. If you want, you can guys do a test. Go out and test yourself and see if you can break in your own home. So if you can break in your own home, I'm trying to tell you, you just never know. So all these things are on the internet, and like I said, use your village. So I just want to make sure you take heed to what I was saying in this video. Is very critical, because look, I care about you, love you, and I want to share those things with you because they are important. Seriously, you have a comment down below, just take it. Just ask the question. I'll do my best to answer the question. No, don't take me as an expert, but these are the things that I've learned, and these are the things that I've seen that works, that helps, that you definitely need to know, you definitely need to grow. So all right, that's all I have. I know this video was long, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen. You guys have a wonderful Saturday. Bye.